In this video, I'm going to teach you all of the best talents and skills to use for Undawn. There's quite a lot to actually go over. As you can see, there's throwables, devices, passives, and then there's a whole plethora of actual skills that you can use. So I wanted to go over what are the best ones for each category in this video. If you guys are going to make sure to drop a like on the subscribe to the channel, both those things do have made a ton. Getting right into the throwable category, the Molotov is actually the one that I have equipped, and it is by far my favorite one to use, and it is definitely one of the better throwables to use in the entire game because it has a blast radius that will actually have flames on the ground for a little bit after you throw it. So it will actually burn zombies after you use it, which is very, very nice. And also the explosion damage itself is very nice. It's not too far off of the foam bomb right here, which is actually going to be the next throwable that I actually am going to suggest to you, because it actually will give them an immobilizing gel, which will, if you don't know, it will immobilize them and kind of just stop them in their tracks for a few seconds, 3 seconds to actually be exact. And you can increase these and upgrade these. And that is partially why I am bringing you this video, so I can kind of just show you which ones to prioritize and upgrade, because I actually did prioritize the decoy bomb quite a bit, and there was no need for me to do that because it's not one of the ones that I would recommend, at least, but you can use it. The last throwable that I wanted to suggest to you was the homing grenade. This is basically a grenade that is a contact grenade, if you know what that is from Call of Duty. One reason why I really like this is because it's only on level 3 and it already has damage that is 4 digits. The hand grenade is level 3 and it only has 830, but the homing grenade actually has 1000 damage. So the hand grenade is nice because it's a normal standard hand grenade and it won't blow up on contact, but if you learn how to use the contact grenade in the correct manner, definitely be very, very overpowered, and it's probably the best throwable to use in my opinion, apart from the Molotov, but it's really up to you on how you play the game. Going into devices, the first device that I really like, and I actually used it quite a bit for the first few weeks of playing this game, is the healing device. It's basically just an automatic med kit that will heal you up for a few seconds. This one's pretty self-explanatory. Work on upgrading this as much as you can and definitely use this, but if you're a more aggressive player or someone that's playing PvP, this might not be the one that you want to go for. Especially if one of your other teammates has this equipped in PvP, this is not something that you really want to bother with, but when you're fighting zombies and doing boss battles and things like that, this actually can come very much in handy. The auto flame is the one that I have equipped right now, and this one is one that I have absolutely been loving, and it is probably the best one out of all these to use. It is the auto turret, but basically the older brother to the auto turret. It is even more overpowered than the auto turret is. Between the two, I would honestly recommend the flamethrower. That's why I'm not talking about the automatic turret. I know I keep talking about it, I just contradict myself there completely, but between the two, the flamethrower is the go-to and it takes the winner every time. That's not to say this is a bad device to use, but if you are trying to kind of choose between the two, this is on level 3 and it has a burning damage of 81. And this has a damage of 60, so I would just probably work on upgrading the automatic flamethrower and then go to the turret once you finish this one. And the last device that I really like using, but I haven't really leveled it up a lot yet, is the electrical device. This kind of is the same thing as the foaming grenade from the throwables. This is a device that will slow down enemies. It will also do damage. It's not too much damage, but it will slow down enemies. That's the main reason why I like this. If you're doing hold the lines, this can be very, very useful for stopping the enemies to actually go to your base. If you're not looking to play aggressive and you're not looking to play support, this will help you to be more of a defensive player in this game if you are trying to play that route. For passive, the first one that I'm going to recommend to you is one that I actually don't even have unlocked, but it is one that is just obviously a no-brainer, and you do want to prioritize this when you can. It is the maximum firepower. This, like I said, is self-explanatory and it's a no-brainer as to why you want to make sure that you prioritize leveling this up. But as I just said, I have been lacking, and that is actually one that I need to really work on, because every time that you level it up, it will increase your damage. The next passive that should definitely be prioritized is the agile passive, and once again, I don't even have it unlocked. But this basically reduces the cooldown of the energy use between slides and rolls, and if you don't know, there is a bit of a cooldown between each roll and slide that you can do. You can mix them in between and kind of work around the cooldown that way, but If you work on leveling this up, you basically will be able to do infinite slides and rolls until you run out of stamina, obviously, but you will basically be able to do it back to back to back to back. So definitely this is one that you want to work on upgrading. Strong body is also something that you should really definitely work on upgrading, because this goes hand in hand with agile. If you increase your max energy, you will be able to do the roll and slide over and over for a longer time the more that you level this up. So definitely prioritize getting your damage up, your energy up, and your agility up. These are very, very important in this game, especially with how much running that you do because of how big the map actually is and how much gathering you have to do. It's just so important to make sure that you work on upgrading these talents as quick as possible. This is unique to PvP, but I did want to throw this in really fast here at the end of this section. Armor piercing shell is very, very important to level up if you are a PvP player, because this will pierce the armor that the other enemies have, and it will do it faster than if you were to not even bother upgrading this passive. So if you are a PvP player, this is probably something that I would actually prioritize the most, because you'll be able to pierce the armor faster and faster the more that you upgrade this. For skills, this is going to be a bit different because every single skill here is very, very, very important in this game, and you want to make sure that you level every single one of them up, or at least unlock them and then slowly level each one of them up. But if I were to recommend ones to prioritize, the first one would definitely be bulletproof, and again, this kind of will also tie into PvP. It increases your critical resistance by 1% and so on and so forth. It will continuously go up more that you increase it, so this will help definitely in PvP battles when people are trying to go for headshots on you and things like that. Also, it will help in boss fights just in general, but mainly in the PvP mode, this will be something that you can see help you out very much so. Weapons expert and defense expert are two that you absolutely want to prioritize. They're both locked for me right now. But these are basically going to be damage increasers and bullet resistance increasers once again, but these are insanely more powerful, and they can provide you so much more damage and so much more health. If you actually prioritize these, you actually need a training camp level 4, which I don't believe my camp is even at yet, so this actually is something you really have to work towards, but it's worth it because again, it's the two best skills in the entire game. One that you actually probably are already prioritizing, but want to make sure that you keep prioritizing, is the Baron's Hunter. It's the first one on the page, so you probably are already trying to level it up a lot just because it's the first one there. It's easy to click, but this will increase your base damage against zombies, humans, and animals, basically everything in the game. So the more that you level this up, the more damage you will do. So this is kind of like the weapons expert, except it's the base version of it. The more that you work on leveling this up, the better off you will be until you actually are able to level into the weapons expert. So yeah, this is one that is basically a no-brainer again, once again, to level up. The last skill that you should probably prioritize leveling up is the survival expert. This is going to increase your base XP each time that you level it up, and again, these two are kind of no-brainers. This will increase your damage, this will increase your HP. The two at the top are basically the same two at the bottom, but these are the base versions of it. So again, if you don't have weapons defense unlocked, survival expert will definitely be something that you want to work towards, just kind of boosting up until you actually are prepared to unlock the other skills. But with that, that is actually going to wrap up this video. If you guys are new, make sure to drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel. Both of those things do help me out a ton. I appreciate you guys hanging here with me for this video. This was actually a pretty comprehensive guide, I believe, so appreciate you guys sticking around with me. But yeah, that's really all I have for today. Peace, have a good rest of the day.